Yo, what's good, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, as you can see by the title, the thumbnail, and the jersey I'm wearing, we have Cleveland Browns football back. Now, yes, I understand it is preseason. Preseason don't matter. Obviously, these records, these scores, everything about it is not going to count towards your journey to a Super Bowl. But it's always fun to look at the preseason games, not really go deep dive into like the way the team looks, not really get pissed off or excited on what they did or didn't do, but just kind of look at more or less what the team looks like. What do the backups look like? What are the kind of the guys that maybe at a couple weeks ago, we would be like, this guy has no chance of making the team, but maybe they look good in the preseason games, and maybe I say, hey, this player could make the team. Hey, this player could make the team. Plus, also, Ken Dorsey, the new offensive coordinator, kind of talking about what I think about the offense, the way it looked. Did it look good? Obviously, Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, a lot of the starters did not play, but we can still look at the way the play calls were. Were some of the players plays good? Were they bad plays? And the defense, we got to talk about the defense. Let me just say this now. It was a good performance by the team. Not the best. Obviously, they didn't win. It's okay. It's preseason. So like I said, I'm going to kind of just give my opinion on how I think they looked. Obviously, I will kind of talk about the game, talk about the Packers, talk about the Browns, and just, like I said, give my opinion on how I think they looked. But without further ado, we're going to go and get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, as you can see here, like I said, Packers 23, Browns 10. Like I said, the score does not matter, so anybody is going to be getting butthurt, be like, I can't believe we fucking lost. Who cares? It's preseason. I would say the same exact thing if we won this game. I'd be like, who cares? It's preseason. But looking at the way kind of the players did, obviously, we will look at the numbers, but at the same time, it's like, whatever. I'm going to give you guys my perspective as I watch the game, though. First up, Jordan Love, the fact that we had, I think it was Ronnie Hickman, get burned one-on-one against the receiver, just going straight down the field. That was just fucking stupid. Why are we putting Ronnie Hickman one-on-one? Like, this dude right here, Dontayvious Wicks, it looked like it wasn't even like a special route. He just burned him, and he just ran right by him. Jordan Love, flick of the wrist, like almost like another Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre combination. Threw it out there. He caught it, and he took it to the house. Now, when it comes to the way the Packers played us, it wasn't anything crazy. I mean, you can see the numbers. The numbers back it up. They didn't do much throwing. The throwing was kind of whatever. It was the running. Even with, like, look at the amount of running backs they went. Josh Jacobs got a rush in for this game. He got one rush for 7 yards. Everything else, it was like every other sort of player. A.J. Dillon got a few rushes. Jordan Hicks, Jarvian Howard, I think is how you say his name. Emmanuel Wilson. These guys were running the hell out of the ball. So pretty much to start off, what we need to discuss is the defense. Like I said, the defense was not that good. Like I said, the Packers, their passing game was looking good. Their running game, 155 yards. Again, I understand. It's preseason. But that's not a good sign. Kind of look at the way the Browns look, kind of like with, like I said, a lot of the backups in there. They had some good performance. I mean, kind of going down through this list, Miles Harden, Devin Bush, he got to play for the Browns. He looked pretty good out there. Mike Hall Jr., the Ohio State draft pick that we took out of the NFL draft this past year, the rookie, he looked good. I mean, he had a solid performance. He didn't do anything crazy, but he didn't do anything horrible. He just had a good performance. I think the reason why a lot of people are kind of upset with the defense, and the same thing with me, last year in the preseason, the defense actually looked good. Now, I realize maybe next week, if they get the starters out there, if the starters play next week, maybe even a drive, 2 drives, maybe 3 drives, whatever it may be, we can see the way they look. If they're looking good, you know, they shut down run game, the pass defense is locked down. We can look at this defense and be like, okay, we're good. It's just the secondary and the back end, the linebackers. If you have backups in there, it's not going to look pretty, you know what I'm saying? But overall, whenever it comes to the way the Browns looked with the backups, because as we know, with the starters, you're one hit away, you're one hamstring away, you're one sprain away, you're one concussion away, whatever injury, you are one just fuck up from your starters down, and you got to put a backup in, and you're always wanting to know, do you have a solid backup to where if your starter goes down, your backup can go in and not give like the same production. Like if you have an all-pro player out of position and you're like, oh shit, he went down. Okay, backup, go in there and be an all-pro. You're not saying that, but at least go in there and give you some good production to where it's like, we're not going to just epically fall off at this position just because our guy went down. Now let's move on to the Browns offense. The offense looked mid. I'm going to say that. Ken Dorsey was the offensive coordinator brought in to help kind of fix things. Kevin Stefanski, there's been question marks about, is he going to play call? Is he going to let Ken Dorsey be the play caller? They're saying right now Kevin Stefanski is still going to be the play caller. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we'll see how it goes. Everything coming out of Browns camp says that this offense is going to be electric. It's going to be awesome. We expect so many touchdowns to be scored. I'm hoping for that. I can't wait to see it happen if it does happen. But from the way they looked yesterday, there was a lot of mistakes. I don't know if it was just like miscues or just like weird, maybe like a receiver and the quarterback just got off on the wrong page or off of the line. Sometimes with some of the runs, the running backs were not hitting the holes right. Kind of looking at how the quarterbacks did, like Jameis Winston, he's going to be a good backup. I think he'll be a good backup for Deshaun Watson. He's the guy I would like to be the backup. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he can be a solid third string. Last year, he was good in the preseason. This year, he was good in the preseason. Everybody got their hair light on. Everybody thought he was like, his hair was on fire. He was going to be amazing. Oh my God, he could probably be a starter. And look what happened. He got his first start against the Steelers, or the Ravens, and he shit the bed. He played against the Ravens. He shit the bed. He got to go out there again against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he didn't do that well. He did good enough to win the game. He did good. And then he got to play against the Broncos, and that game wasn't that pretty as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was looking good in the Broncos game, but then he got hurt. He went down. It was like everything was just going wrong for him, in my opinion. That's one thing I do need Browns fans to understand. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he's a really good quarterback as a third string. If he was like our third string option for the amount of talent he has, perfect. Like Jameis Winston as the backup, perfect. If for some reason we went to Jameis Winston and then we were like, oh shit, we need Dorian Thompson-Robinson to come in the game, I would still feel comfortable, but it's more the fact that like we want Deshaun Watson to be out there, and if he for some reason he does go down, I almost feel more comfortable with Jameis Winston. It's scary to say that, but I almost feel more comfortable with him. And Tyler Huntley, he looked good. I mean, he comes from the Ravens. I don't think he's going to make the team. At the rate we're going, it's going to look like probably Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, and probably Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I don't think they're going to really... It's going to come down to a battle for the third string between Tyler Huntley and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Maybe one of them, if they want to stay with the Browns, practice squad could be the option for them. Looking at the Browns' run game, it seems like the plan right now has been they want to take away the run game and they want to go more pass. Don't get me wrong, I like that. Like, if you're going to go more run, go more run. If you're going to go more pass, go more pass. Do what works. Do what's going to score points. If you're going to go more pass, I expect the pass game to look really good. Like, I expect this number here, 188, to be like up in the 300s. If you're rushing, it's going to be under 100. And if your passing is going to be down around like 188, 200, 225, your rushing better be damn well above like 125, 150. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing I find funny, let me know if you agree with me. Cade York being back with the Browns and kicking a field goal. That scared the fuck out of me. Like, we actually had Cade York back with the team. Obviously, Dustin Hopkins, he was dealing with an injury last year in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure he's good to go now. But we don't want to obviously injure our starting kicker. Even though it's preseason, they can't really get too hurt or banged up out there. Just in case, they brought in Cade York, kind of battle with, I guess, Dustin in training camp and try to just be like a battle, somebody to battle with, I guess, whatever. But from what they're saying, Bubba Ventrone, the special teams coordinator, he said Cade York is having probably one of his better camps he's ever had in his career. And I don't know what that means whenever it comes to a kicker. Obviously, you're just kicking the ball through the uprights. But he went out there, his extra point he made, and then with a field goal, 55-yarder. It looked a little shaky coming off the foot, but then it just got right through the uprights. And Nathan Zegura, he was talking on the broadcast like that could have been good from 70. Nathan Zegura, shut the fuck up. We know he can make it from 70. We just know he can't fucking hit it between the uprights. Cade York is the definition of, would you rather have a field goal kicker that can make every field goal under 40 yards? 40 yards and under. He's going to make every single field goal. Or would you rather have a field goal kicker that can make field goals from like 60, 65 plus yards, but every single time it's a 50-50 shot that it's going to go in? Cade York is the guy with the 60, 65 yard field goals, but 50-50 shot, make or miss. And I think with the Browns, they pretty much said after the way Cade York was like a disaster and just constantly, it's like, it's going to go in, is it going to miss? That's when they went and got Dustin Hopkins, where it was like, we just want you to make the easy ones. Extra points, if you can make all your extra points, and sometimes we might ask you to go for like a 45, 50 yard, maybe up 50 plus. Sometimes it'll happen. But most of the time, we're hoping we can get you in like a reasonable field goal range. You know what I'm saying? But overall, when it comes to the rest of the team, like I said, it's all backups, especially for this game. We weren't really going to see too much. I think next game, they're going to hopefully, from what I've seen online, reading from like Browns reporters, Browns people on Twitter or X, they're saying that Deshaun Watson hopefully will get a drive in, at least a drive, to kind of get a feel for the game, get back out there. When it comes to starters that are probably not going to play like at all, Nick Chubb obviously is not going to play at all. I don't think Amari Cooper's going to get any work in. Maybe he'll get a drive whenever Deshaun Watson's out there. I'm thinking like Myles Garrett, he's not going to play. Joel Bitonio, I think he played in this game against Packers, which surprised me. And then any player that's kind of, if they're dealing with some sort of injury, like I said with Nick Chubb, any player that's like dealing with any sort of injury, they're not going to go on the field. They need no part being on the field, especially like if they're like a starter or like a guy that's been with the team for a couple years. Anybody that maybe is being paid a lot of money, those players don't need to see the field. But when it comes to the Browns, like I said, good showing for your first preseason game. There's room to grow. There's always room to get better. But one thing people need to realize, a lot of times with these preseason games, there's been times where like the Browns was back in 2017 or 2016, whatever it was, they went 4-0 in the preseason. You know what they did the same exact year? They went 0-16 in the regular season. And there's been times in the past where teams have gone 1-3, 0-4, 2-2, 0-3, whatever it may be in the preseason, whatever decade you're watching football. And you know what those teams did? They go to the playoffs in the regular season. They go to the AFC title game, NFC title game. Sometimes they go to the Super Bowl. Preseason doesn't mean shit. But like I said, as a Browns fan, I'm excited for football being back, and it was a good fun showing to watch our team play this time. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? Do you think the Browns look good, look bad? Do you like the offense? Do you think it's looking good? Maybe it needs to be upgraded a little bit. Like whenever it comes to play calling, what do you think about the way how Kevin Stefanski versus Ken Dorsey calling the plays? What do you think about the defense? Does it look good? What do you think about the special teams? Whatever your opinion may be whenever it comes to the Browns, leave a complete opinion down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a worship day. Peace.